Today, I will be starting with the ESCM concept, that is e-commerce supply chain management. Can you see the PPT? Hello. So we start with the e-commerce enabled supply chain management. Now, supply chain is a process which starts right from procuring of raw material up till the goods is delivered to the end customers. So here we can say it involves a complex chain of networks, which includes the retailers, which include the suppliers of raw materials, all the suppliers, okay, of raw materials, the manufacturers, the trading partners, the third party logistic departments, everybody who is involved in the process, right from the procurement of raw material to the delivering the goods to the end customer, is known as the supply chain part of e-commerce. Now here the organizational process of making the product and selling it stands between the supply markets and the customer markets. Now here if you see, I've given this as a figure. Okay, basically what used to happen in the traditional way, there used to be the procurement planning, the production planning, demand planning with forecasting, inbound logistics, capacity utilization, distribution of products, and the customer service. These were the components usually involved in SCM, that is supply chain management. All the processes were not integrated. They had their own decentralized departments, and every department used to have their own roles or functions to play in this supply chain management. Now, this is the figure now, which is the new way of managing supply chain in e-commerce era. The flow of materials and information through a business from initially the first stage, that is the purchasing function, through the operations and eventually delivering the goods to the customer, that is basically known as the supply chain. The concept of supply chain is a altogether, holistic view of coordinating functions that transfer data and material resources from suppliers to consumers in the finished format, that transfer the data and material resources in a very effective and efficient way. If you consider high speed, low cost of communication and collaboration with customers and suppliers, these become the critical success factors for effective SCM. Then the chain is the future. Now, the very essence of SCM is its effective collaboration throughout a network of customers and suppliers. The benefits are based on effectively employing e-commerce, which makes information quality an even higher priority. than it used to be, providing the right amount of information, creating awareness to those who want to understand or gain the knowledge regarding the product. Fast access to relevant supply chain information can pay off handsomely at lower cost, less inventory, higher quality decision making, shorter life cycle times, better customer service. Now, here one of the ways for the cost savings is the overheads, which are associated with lot of paperwork, which in this case of e-commerce, they are minimized, or you can say they don't exist up to that level, which they used to be previously. The manual transactions, which used to be the major emphasis, which has been reduced now. The result in cycle time compression, lower inventories, decision-making quality, reduced overhead costs, among other benefits, makes e-chain processing a highly desirable, you can say, web application. Today, with the help of this eSCM process, it can be streamlined and efficiently, it could be worked out. Now, with the market space reconfiguring the traditional value proposition, even the supply chain management needs to manage the organizational complexity of adopting a dynamic mix between the content, the context, and the infrastructure. Here, we do have the, if you see here, we do have the procurement part, we have the production part, and the distribution part. So, according to the demand, okay, the material is procured, and then the procured material enters into the production unit. Once the goods are produced, they are distributed. This is the flow usually. Now, with the advancement in technology and with the help of different ERP packages available, very handy and convenient to the organizations, these things have become much more easier. Now, shift towards virtual organizational architecture focuses on the importance of knowledge and intellect in creating value. And by the creation of organizational integration mechanisms on the internet, maybe you may have web forums, video conferencing, virtual multifunctional teams, which becomes enablers of independent vectors also. Now, the process of innovation, the adoption of an integrated approach throughout the supply chain requires a trade-off between the autonomy and the control, of which the balance decided upon is unique to partner relationships. Now, the players must have access to a wide range of external technological services, such as internet and other complementary online networks, in order to operate effectively. They must have access to electronic capabilities like using optical fibers, high-speed digital switches, satellite downlinks, and compatible EDI, ensuring reliable, efficient information flows among suppliers, manufacturers, distributors, while protecting proprietary data also. These resources, such as harmonized electronic transfer across transportation modes and on-site education and training facilities, will also help companies to improve their resume in the emerging market space also. Now, there are three types of nets that are used to support this supply chain. The first is the intranet. An intranet is an internal network maintained with the boundaries of the company. So we say it is within the uh, organization or confined to a single organization or set of strategic business units. The second type of net is the extranet, which connects participating companies be they customers or suppliers. Here, a customer should have the access to the ERP system to know, for instance, his order status, while the supplier could access inventory data to support the automatic replenishment process. This is the second type. Now, the third type of net is internet, which is open to the general public. Using the internet, a company could publicize its products and services and also accept online orders from its customers. Now, here, before taking into consideration the supply chain, companies need to understand and whether they have the infrastructure facilities to support this e-commerce enabled SCM solutions. Because on the internet, when the customer places the order, the customer also expects that the thing should fall in place within the specified or stipulated time frame. What businesses opportunities are available to improve market presence, sales, cost of operations, services, the cycle time, the supply base management have to be considered. They should understand the web link enable linkages with customers and suppliers so that there should be a match between the demand and the supply. That is why many of the companies today use the ERP softwares so that they understand the placement of orders in a very effective and efficient way. Now, supply chain management is an integral part of a business. So, here the technology in logistics has been advancing in three phases. The first phase is to monitor the logistic chain. Herein the technology helps companies to monitor orders, inventory and shipments with all the parties. Since logistics is a business, a process, at the most basic level, IT is used to automate the process to gain visibility. This is basically done through an enterprise-wide software developed in-house or procured from solution providers, which are already available. The companies like Blue Dart, an integrated air express carrier, use an in-house developed package, also called as computerized online system for monitoring and tracking. So here you can outsource very easily these softwares, which will be a helping hand for the companies. Now you can take an example of a Gati, an Indian pioneer multimodal express cargo company, which also uses an in-house system that links their various processes in the logistics chain. Over the years, they have included features like vehicle monitoring system, web-enabled access to various applications. The Limor Group has included warehousing, transportation, and distribution systems with full visibility of the process. Now, many of them, they may have, cold storage facilities. You may require warehouses where you need to store the products or the goods. So it depends upon the demand uh, of the nature of goods. When I say it's a cold storage warehouse, that means the temperature has to be maintained for such type of products. So in advance, they should make the collaborative arrangement. They should see it that it integrates with the overall functions of the supply chain management. The second phase of maturing technology adoption focuses on management capabilities, uh, which in which the technology must provide the data and intelligence gathering tools necessary to manage the flow of goods and establish business rules to manage expectations. More evolved technology backbones like GeoVista of the geologistics group are capable of handling high level of sophisticated softwares here in this case. Final phase of technology in logistics is that of optimization, wherein discrete parts of the chain as well as the entire chain is logically optimized to suggest actions which will lead to achievement of predefined objectives with the limitations, or we can say some of the constraints. Now, specialized SEM tools like I2 or linguistics help in the achieving this objectives. So here we have a separate, this field has its own importance and it has evolved as a altogether, separate part of the entire business processes. Now, ESM provides real-time benefits. It has transformed by rapid growth of internet-based penetration into the economy and into the society. It represents a paradigm shift from the client server model. The power of web based applications is their ability to allow people to communicate uh, critical real time information anywhere in the world at just within a few seconds. As new applications emerge, their immediate and measurable benefits make them essential business tools, which the businesses have to take care of. With the increasingly competitive business landscape, it has become more strategic necessity. So we say it's a strategic decision-making part to optimize a company's supply chain that leverages the potential of the internet. Now, it helps in the global trading capabilities. It helps in mass personalization and customization of the product portfolio. It gives a exchange facility globally. Maybe if you have a supplier anywhere at any time, you can communicate with that person. You can be a part of global business and global communities. Also, we have there the virtual marketplaces, that is industry specific virtual marketplaces where you can collaborate with each other and move ahead. Business to business connectivity is more here through this ESCM. So these are some of the benefits as far as ESCM considered. Also, it is a web based and not web enabled. It incorporates broadcast and active messaging to proactively notify an individual a condition that requires attention. It supports exchange of real-time information, maybe between the employees, between the customers, the suppliers, distributors, and the manufacturers. It's an independent platform. It is fully integrated system and it has web visibility. Maybe anybody can access anywhere the information 24 by 7 here. Now, if we consider the next part, now this was the regarding the functioning, usually the functioning of ESCM part. in this modern era of e-commerce. So how we perform with the help of e-commerce. Next part is economic order fulfillment processes. Now, order fulfillment, from the customer, the company receives the orders. These portals may be a third party portals or the company portals itself. So if it's a third party, you receive the message or the order from the third party, or otherwise the company has its own portal which have the self-generated order invoices. Okay. From there it goes to the production department. Now, order fulfillment is all the steps a company takes between receiving a new order and placing that order into customer's hand. Now, this involves warehousing, picking and packing the product, shipping it, sending an automated email to the customer so that they understand that the product is in transit and maybe it may arrive at the doorstep of the customers any moment. Now, here, if you think of steps like receiving inventory, now e-commerce company has ways to handle the inventory. It can choose to receive and stock the inventory in-house, or it can use an e-commerce order fulfillment outsourcer. That is a third party involvement in this. You may also find a third party involvement for booking the orders, taking the orders, or maybe manufacturing the products. Maybe on the behalf of the company, you take the orders and place the orders with the third party manufacturer, some other person to manufacture. Now, here in this case, for the first option, the company will be responsible for taking the stock, examining the inventory, labeling, packaging, everything, managing the inventory. But if the company decides to outsource, then the task will be handled by the third party, the order fulfillment partner or the supplier in this case. Now, storing inventory, if you decide to have a warehouse, inbuilt warehouse of the company, then the main task would be the list of the shelves which are occupying the inventories. You need to keep a close watch on day-to-day items of that is of the invoices, what is going into the warehouse and what is coming out of the warehouse. But if you think of outsourcing this also, then there is no problem. The company just has to rely on the third party here. Processing the order, businesses that outsource order fulfillment don't need to go ahead with the order processing, as they simply pass on the order request to their partners, and rest responsibility is theirs. Now, a company has its own inventory. In this case, it has to keep a track record of when it was shelved, whether it's packed properly, whether it has been transported properly. Here also the responsibility of inspection of goods and safety and security uh, is totally on the manufacturer or the owner here in this case. Now, shipping order, now depending upon the size of the order, the weight of the order, and the specific requirements of the clients, the order is shipped. Now, here it may again be contracted or it may be a third party option at this step. If it is a third party option, then it's a headache of the response or it's the responsibility of the third party vendor to whom you have outsourced the responsibility. The next step is handling the returns also. Now here the shipping the order also includes the time, the means or the mode of shipment, because customer is always eager to understand and know or trace where the product is lying. Maybe it should reach, it is expected that it should reach the end customer within the stipulated time frame. Now for online buyers, the ability to easily return. Now today, if you see, it has become a marketing gimmick also. That maybe not gimmick, but it is, you can say, a strategy. That if you don't like it, you can return the goods within a particular time, and you will get the replacement also. So here, promising is okay, but what about the fulfillment of the promise? The company even has to take care of this. Here again, the billing is a problem. Refunding the customer, maybe in cash, maybe if they choose other products. So again, it's a problem. Usually, the amount is refunded because they don't want again to increase the load of goods return and matching it with some other product. The customer, if the customer buys some other product. So here, if you have the automatic machines or automatic order generations, it becomes much more helpful or easier at this stage, because when the goods are written, you will easily come to know what are the goods returned and what was the reason. So here you go a step ahead beyond satisfaction, that what was the reason why the customer, whether the customer did not like the product, or whether there was any gap in the perception and what the customer had received. Now basically, if you think of steps, then order is received online, maybe on the shopping cart itself, through mail or phone. The order is booked, the order request is registered in the inventory system, order is confirmed, and it is sent to the customer to confirm. Order request is sent to warehouses, because it is the warehouse where it is uh, packed and shipped. A warehouse worker locates and picks the order item, sees to it that whether is in confirmation with the order received. It is packed and prepared shipment to take a note of it and see to it that within the stipulated time frame the order is delivered to the customer. If the customer is not happy, he again requests for the returns. And for the return goods also, again the same procedure is there. That it comes to the warehouses, and then the payments part. Now here many a times what happens is that customer thinks of dropping the item. That is, the customer is not that much interested to move ahead also with the product purchase. So in this case, it is important for the manufacturers to understand why it was returned. What was the reason for the return of goods here? So with this analysis of the feedback mechanism or feedback monitoring system, you come to know about this also. Now we go on to the next part, that is e-supply chain components. Now scheduling and manufacturing planning. Now this automated program provides detailed coordination of all manufacturing and supply efforts based on individual customer needs. So as soon as the order is booked, there is scheduling. Now scheduling is based on real-time analysis of changing constraint throughout the process, maybe from equipment malfunctioning to supply interruptions. The basic thing is job creation schedules, which is included in this scheduling part. Demand forecasting is one of the very important criteria here in this customer order. This module is changing market scenario and economic factors while making decisions. So here, unless and until you forecast demand, you cannot move ahead. How much of the material you will procure? What would be the inventory stocking? All are the questions which are answered by this demand forecasting program. And the transportation logistics program. Now, this program facilitates resource allocation and execution to ensure that materials and finished goods are delivered at the right time, at the right place. Now, if you plan in advance, then only you can come up with this transportation logistics. Suppose if you place a last minute order in the assumption that the demand is of the weight kind, then there would be a problem. Now here it should also consider the transportation mode and availability of each mode. Maybe if you want to transport through airlines, to trains, to trucks, by roadways, anyways, by ships. But there should be availability of that slot with reference to these transportation modes. So in advance, these things should be planned. Like we have the forecasting, like we have transportation logistics, even we should plan for distribution. How you are going to think about the channel of distribution, which channel you are going to opt. Now the order commitment is linked to all other modules so that accurate delivery of goods and services can be guaranteed here in this case. Now here, perishable goods is the basic challenge here. Perishable goods, those which are not durable, maybe have the short lifespan, like food items. You can say floriculture exports. In this case, it becomes very much mandatory or essential to plan in advance. For food and other quick turnaround businesses, as their time quota shrink, customers look for companies that serve fast. So for perishable products, it's a challenge for the marketers to always be on toes. Now, today, when you are placing an order on any of the internet browsers, or maybe you are placing the order on the companies which are into e-marketing, what are your expectations? Your expectations are that whatever good you have asked for, it should be available at your doorstep within the specific time frame. So a well planned company, a well planned supply chain logistic management can only help the company in achieving this goal or objective. When one considers the challenge of meeting the demands of busy, time starved, dissatisfied customers in an environment of hostile competition, low margins, and countless sales outlets selling similar products, it becomes clear that changing the entire business model is only the available strategy. The waiting time for customers is one of the biggest challenge. If companies do not expedite processes, customer will go to somebody else. If one company does not make it easy for the customer to do business, another will definitely. So it is very important for the managers to understand and diagnose the cause behind the service delays. Why there are certain delays? How to manage these things is the biggest challenge here in this case. Now, as digital technologies converge, the whole concept of physical value chain undergoes a change. Today, the focus is on virtual value chain. While entrepreneurs often adapt at collecting and processing information about threats and opportunities by networking, observing, and getting about, many look to information and IT as a new option for making the customers happy by providing them goods and services. Now, technology infrastructure or platform is seen to distract attention. Many a times is the identification or prioritization of systems that works. Now, here also the company should come up with some strategy. There should be systematic examinations of strategic factors which can be considered in this. Now, here the value activities are important things which the company does to design, produce, sell, and service products. This value activities for a manufacturing firm would be like gathering customer needs. What are the customer needs? Analyzing them, having those products into the umbrella of your organization, designing products, purchasing the materials which are needed for the products in demand, stocking the products, promoting the products, maybe through virtual aids like yesterday we discussed the catalog marketing or mobile marketing, or maybe customization like sending an individual customers the SMS, or maybe about the new scheme launched or new product manufactured, selling the products to them, servicing products to them, uh, making the customers happy by satisfying their needs. So this will add value to the SCM of the organization or of the company. The company which has a large number of direct suppliers or customers or complex product line, that is if they have more product lines, they need to know about the end customers. They need to sell a lot of information and create awareness. Now it is reasonable to adopt e-commerce. Now the characteristics of high information intensity in the product would be like providing information. It requires the buyer to process a lot of information. It includes the advertising cost. One needs to think of promotion mix, and this promotion mix ultimately results to sales, and sales will give rise to the SCM part. In this way we can say it is linked, or it becomes an integral part of the entire business. Now here the foremost objective is to attract the customers, interact with the customers, and once you are able to convince the customers, then comes the part of this backend systems, which are not at the forefront, which are at the back, but They are important. They have their own set of functions to be performed. Now, if in this case, if you have CRM packages today, because of e-commerce and e-application softwares, order processing reaching the customers has become much more easier and simpler. Now, when the customer places the order, how is that within the stipulated time period you get the product at your doorstep, whether imagined? Because here the routes or the steps have been pre-decided. Like when you place the order through e-catalog, an invoice is raised which is sent to the warehouses, which just takes into consideration the packaging part of the products which are ordered, and further is the Department of Transportation. Many a times they have their local vendors. Okay, they have integrated partners who at the local level manage this transportation. Now here ultimately the objective is to satisfy the customer. So offering the product which has been ordered in the stipulated time period will result in customer satisfaction. Now here it is the job of the warehousing, the inventory control, the order booking. If each of these departments play their role well, then there is no lacunas in this. Otherwise, it would be a problem again here in this case. So that's why today, if you see, data warehousing and data mining have their own important role in this e-business strategy. Due to data warehouse, there is immediate delivery of information, data integration from across and even outside the organization takes place. They have found out new ways to have a look at the data. Data warehousing is also important because here is what you get the know the clientels basically, their requirements, what are their prerequisites, you come to know. You also come to know the history of the items purchased by the customer. So when there is an entry of any new product into your umbrella or into your bundle of products, where it's very easily this information is conveyed to the customer, which you find through your data warehouses that this may be the customer who would be willing to purchase the product. Now, any doubts up till here in ESCM? Now, see here, though we are speaking of the virtual world, understand one very important thing. These are just the application tools or the helping hand. When the customer is asking for any product, it needs to be produced. Okay, so here there is no option for e-goods. Okay, the goods are manufactured physically, they are delivered physically to the customer. The only thing or the difference between the traditional approach and the modern approach is because of this introduction of the internet, and the technology, uh, all the information is shared through different departments. We can say today it's an integrated approach we have, which makes the flow of businesses much smoother. Maybe since you have the platforms, e-technology platforms designed, or ERP softwares, okay, which are designed to understand the basic needs of businesses. Now, this helps in taking the business ahead with the challenges. Many times you may find that the customer has the complaints also that the goods received, okay, are not in accordance with the order procured, or maybe there are some damages. But in this case, it becomes much more simpler and easier. Now, because of these tools, it becomes very much easier to build the gaps, or we can say to overcome the lacunas which were there in the traditional approaches. Now, this is basically the, you can say I discussed the e-commerce enabled SCM solutions, the order fulfillment part, the of eSCM. Now, any doubts in this?
No, ma'am.
I don't think the concept is that much complicated here, because we know the traditional part of SCM, what it is. So, when you take into consideration the procurement part, suppose if you want to procure the raw material, in this case, you have the list of vendors, we can say the partners, business partners, and they know what is the requirement. Since you have the database, okay, proper database, only the thing, the difference would be in numbers, in procurement details, but otherwise, the remaining things would be the same, like your pricing strategy, maybe the time frame, the tenure, the mode of transportation, everything would be the unique. So here, when you have the internet and the online systems, it helps you to bridge the gap here. Now, today I stop with this SCM part. Tomorrow we will continue with the e-payments part, the next part. Okay. Thank you.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay. Any
Thank you, ma'am.
doubts? Anybody has any doubts in this SCM part, eSCM part?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Then I stop here. Thank you.